Hello everyone, this is the IT Dude and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to start some San Pedro seeds for your hydroponic systems. I'll be using a deep water culture system, but that'll come later. So everything you need to start some seeds is here in front of us. We have our Pyrex dish that is deep enough, right? Some rock wool I've cut up into cubes. I'd say they're probably 2 inches by 1 inch squares, thereabouts. We'll be using some pH adjusted deionized water or distilled water. We'll have some liquid plant food for aeroponics and hydroponics. This particular one is 436. Got some measuring devices and some pH adjustment kits, an EC meter so I can record how much plant food is in the water I'm going to use. And I also have some HydroGuard, which is like a bacillus root inoculant. It's kind of like a fungus stuff that helps ward off other types of bad bacteria and fungi, and also helps like the plant absorb nutrients better. And lastly, some saran wrap to put over the top at the end. This is actually for a seed growing competition that'll take place over the coming year. So today is the day after Thanksgiving 2023, and I'll be planting 32 of these seeds here, which were from Rocky Mountain Fresh Cactus. He actually sent these out, to over like 100 people, and we're all going to do this competition together. And I'll be growing some Lima Flower Market crossed with Rib Shifter, which is a Pacanoy crossed with a Burgesi. And the Rib Shifter looks really cool, and the Lima Flower Market I think is going to be really cool too, because it was a land race or wild cactus from Peru. So I'll get set up here and I'll take you through the rest of it here in just a minute. Okay, so what we'll need to do now is we'll need to mix up our hydroponic solution, and that's going to include some of our plant food and some of our HydroGuard. So I have this here because I actually only have one pipette, and I'm going to use this water here as just a way to clean this pipette out after I dip it in these different things. I'll also pour some water in here so that the nutrient solution will be a little bit diluted moving forward. So for the plant food, it says 5 milliliters every quart, and we're going to use a quart, and I'm going to mix this half strength. So I'm going to try to measure out 2.5 milliliters here. That'll be 2.5. Next, I'm going to put some HydroGuard in this. And for this, it looks like someone was tired of answering questions, but basically it's 2 milliliters per gallon. So if I'm using a quart, I'm going to use 0.5 milliliters of HydroGuard. So wash this out once more. Try to cut down on contamination. Up to that line is 0.5 milliliter. Okay, should be good. Next, I'll put most of the rest of the water in here. That'll be fairly mixed up. And then I'm going to run a pH test. And when you're doing this and you only have one pipette, make sure not to use the pipette to put the water into this. Otherwise, all of your tests will be messed up because this is contaminated. Just a little bit of water. And our pH test indicator. All right. That, I would say, is too acidic. Even though this water here was actually adjusted beforehand to 5.5, putting the plant food and the HydroGuard in this actually raised it. So here I have a bowl for wastewater, and I'm just going to dump that in there, and then actually rinse. And I'm going to try to adjust this down. This stuff seems to be crazy concentrated. So whenever doing this, for like a gallon, I only use like a drop. So that's way too much, but I'm going to just put a drop in there and see what that comes out to. Would not surprise me if I made that too basic. Nope, not yet. Go a little more. And doing this is sometimes kind of tough, but at least with small amounts, but I'll get it. Okay, that's looking better. And I'll probably go one more drop just in case, because I don't know, I don't think it's super picky, but I'm going to try to get this spot on. It is a competition after all. Okay, now as we can see here, that's correct. It's between basically 5 and 6. So I'll go ahead and switch some stuff out and clean some things up, and then we'll get to the next part, which is soaking the rock wool. So one thing I forgot in the last part of my video was actually to test the EC of the solution, just so I have a number, so I kind of have it for future reference. And I'm going to turn it from ppm to US/MC. And I mean, those two things are, you can convert between the two, but you're better off just leaving it in EC mode. So we'll see what this is, and that's a pretty high EC. I don't think all of that is actually from the plant food. I think part of it is probably from the HydroGuard, but it is at 836, which is 0.83 EC. All right, next, just have to soak the rock wool. So I'm just pour. I'll probably use something called the nose oil trick, where if you put some nose oil on that, it won't run down the side of it while I pour this. So I'm just gonna go about like that. For now, apparently this is gonna probably take less water than I might have thought, but that was 1 cup. There's about 2. And I'll kind of stir this around a little bit, wait a little while, and just wait till all that absorbs. And I'll see you guys all here in a little bit. All right, now our rock wool has absorbed as much water as it's going to, and I dumped off some excess. Now all there is to do is sow these seeds. So the way I do this is I don't try to bury them inside the rock wool. I just set them on top and make sure that, you know, they have really good contact with the rock wool, but we still want these to get plenty of light in order for them to germinate. And I'll probably end up fast forwarding through this, so you have to wait on all this. All right, so that was 32, and he actually got sent some extras here. I won't worry about those for now. I'll probably save them for later. Another thing to note, I didn't bother sanitizing everything in the seeds, but I also used HydroGuard, which should help out with that. And the only thing left to do here is to put some plastic wrap over the top of this, and then we'll get it underneath the lights. There, that should be good. So here we are at my seed germination setup. It's pretty simple. We have 2 of these Manios L T5 grow lights, and these are sitting about 8 inches underneath it, and they're probably getting around 100 ppfd for 14 hours a day. Some of these ones over here, these were some of the experiments I've done before to see how much food these little things would want while they're germinating. And this is a full dose, and they all pretty much look like that, except for the control over here, which wasn't given anything at all except for pH adjusted water, and they're still growing regardless. So it just goes to show you these little things are pretty tough, I think. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and hope to see you on the next one.